SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in on this Friday. We've got a ton to get to. Mississippi State wallops Auburn in Starkville last night to get that series off. Started with a bang, a grand slam, another one. They just keep hitting grand slams in that stadium lately, does Mississippi State. And also, as the internet says, one of the most Mississippi State injuries to a starter of all time. Yeah. We're only laughing because he's okay.
He's fine, yeah.
He's okay, but oh my gosh. I mean, give me a break. So we'll talk about that. Friend of the program, we haven't had him on in a while. I need to reach out to him. Bud Elliott did some research on when we say that there's more parity than ever. Here's proof. We've got definitive proof to bring you today that the talent is more spread out than it ever has been, and it's a good thing in college football. He did a lot of that. He's great. We'll have him on soon. I like Bud. I know he's a big ACC homer. He hates the SEC.
That's a tough guy to get. I have tried many, many times. So
we've exchanged DMs in the past, pleasantly so.
I have his cell number. I'm just telling you.
Well, he needs to suck it up and come on the show because we're about to promote his work today. Yeah. I'm kidding. But no, he did really good stuff there. Also, playoff expansion. If we were to have 24 teams instead of 12 the last 2 years, who would have benefited? What would that have looked like? We'll go through that as well. Have some fun on this Friday. Talk about the upcoming Ole Miss Texas A&M series. Obviously, they have not started yet, but they will get started tonight. All that and more with you. Busy day. So glad you're with us.
We're glad you're here in the Pearl River Resort Studios, pearlriverresort.com, the place to find great live entertainment. You heard us talking about it just yesterday when we were there. Incredible shows coming to Pearl River Resort. Buy your tickets now. Stay at the resort for the weekend. Enjoy a great meal at Philip M's or Mama and M's. Book a round of golf at Dancing Rabbit. And starting next week, take the kids for a great fun day at Geyser Falls. A lot of great options for you. It's all right there at Pearl River Resort. C-Spire text line open to you, 601-879-4395. With C-Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet, plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 and the Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, and a free smartwatch and a free tablet to go with it. Whew. So don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C-Spire store today. C-Spire, inspired by you.
I didn't even mention that the United States government Friday news dumped aliens are real on us today. The Apollo astronauts are on record saying we got followed when we went to the moon, guys. It's crazy.
It's going to really make conspiracy theory people have to work here. So are you going to admit that they're...
Yeah.
Are you going to admit that we went to the moon? Or are you going to say there's no aliens? Because you can't have both.
You can't have both anymore.
Yeah.
Because our moon astronauts... Oh, it's, I mean, we're not going to get too much into this. It is fascinating as all get out, though. I mean, it's documents. It's NASA astronauts, fighter pilots, etc., on record describing exactly what they saw, pictures, videos. Yeah. Apparently, one of the documents, though, hey, Deb, the aliens are only 3 to 4 feet tall.
Kick there, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know they mastered intergalactic travel, but when they get out of the ships, I think we've got them covered.
We could fight them with an old school war, in the field.
Just,
single column. Let's go.
I used to think Victor Wembanyama was an alien. Turns out Diego
what are these
Pavia
aliens
is the
going to
alien,
do
actually.
when we send out Victor Wembanyama? They're like, look at this, look what we got.
Yeah, Myles Garrett. Hey, buddy, go for it. We've got them beat now.
Could Brock Lesnar defeat 100 aliens? I think so.
Apparently so.
I think so.
Also, apparently the little orbs, they have these little ships. They love playing in our wind turbines. They like flying in and out of
I didn't
the
read
wind
any
turbine.
of this because
it fascinates
God help me.
Oh, I know, but it fascinates me. But we're not talking about that today. We are going to talk. So, speaking of bizarre phenomenon, hey, Dad, of all the things that could have cost Mississippi State their shortstop last night, where does getting bonked in the head with a foul ball in pregame warmups rank? My goodness. And again, we're laughing because he's okay.
He's fine. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it, obviously, driving back from Philadelphia. And then as I started to pull in the parking lot, I see that, he's late scratch. I heard Neil Price talking about it on the radio. And very sports fan friendly, guys. That's what I am. You might remember earlier this season, I came back to the studio here in Starkville, and State started coming back, and they won the game, so I stayed here the whole time, right? I pull into the parking lot. Bases are loaded. I told now, at State, the media entrance, there's nobody there to open the door for you after the first inning. You got to, normally text, hey, I'm here. Can you send somebody down, whatever? My wife is in the stadium. I was like, hey, would you mind just coming down to the media gate and opening it for me? She says, yeah. And I say to her, let's wait till the end of this inning. I'll sit in the car until this inning is over because we got bases loaded here. And then Bryce Chance hits a grand slam. Once again, I know how to be a sports fan. I understand the nuances of fandom. You don't tell somebody to move when you got bases loaded. You don't do it. And yes, Mississippi State now has hit a grand slam in each of its last 3 SEC series and has hit a grand slam 3 games in a row.
That's an amazing stat.
I don't know that that's ever happened at Mississippi State. Or I don't know where a lot of places where it would have happened. 3 games in a row with a grand slam. If they get one tonight, I'm just going to be like, all right, I'm throwing the records out. But Drew Wires, to get back to that, bonked in the head. As you said, he was in batting practice. He took one to the head, shook it off, acted like he was okay, but then wasn't okay, and so they went to Ryder Woodson. And then what did Ryder Woodson do? Had a base hit, had a walk, had a sac fly that scored a run, had a nice defensive play in the second inning. State fans need it last night, Borky. Think about State's last few games at home in the SEC.
Yeah, they've been weird at home lately.
They get swept by Georgia. They get swept by Tennessee at home. All those games, you're trailing the whole time. It's tough. Then the LSU series, they trailed every game. They had to come from behind in every game. Every out felt like it was high leverage. Last night was the first time since the Vanderbilt game on a Sunday where State run-ruled the Commodores.
And Vanderbilt on a Sunday was...
That's what, March 21st?
Scroll. It was March 22nd.
22nd. It's been that long since State fans have just been able to go to Dudy Noble Field and watch their team dominate an SEC game and not have to be, just completely worked up the entire game. I think everybody's hypertension was down last night at Dudy Noble Field. Yeah. So... really good win. They chase Auburn's starter after 2 innings. They make them leverage one of their best relievers.
Marciano, just 2 complete 6 hits, 4 runs.
Right, and then the guy who came in behind him, one of their better guys, he threw 60-odd pitches, so he's probably
69 pitches. He's not throwing tonight.
He's probably burned for the weekend.
Yeah, he's not throwing Saturday either.
The other side of that coin for State, Valinkas gives you 6 2/3, strikes out 13. The guy from Auburn, Bub Terrell, didn't get the script. Wasn't supposed to hit that home run there. Supposed to let Valinkas strike you out so he could get the big ovation as he comes off the field. Instead, they bring in Jack Bauer. And Bauer, I'm officially saying, has arrived at this point. To the point where, I made this comment on Thunder and Lightning, Borky. When Landon Sims would come in and that first couple notes of Still the Night would hit, the crowd would pop. We were talking about pops yesterday. The crowd would go crazy, right, because they knew he was coming in, and they knew the game was over. Last night, so Jack Bauer's walkout is Wolf Mother, Joker and the Thief. And when that little, the crowd started going crazy, and he came in. He got 7 outs on 17 pitches. Absolute dominance from the big left-handed freshman. And now State, he can come back on Saturday for sure. State has all options available to him. I still think McPherson is getting that start on Saturday. State's in as good a shape as it can be in, and RPI up to 6. I feel like the Starkville Regional is a foregone conclusion at this point, and it's just going to be, is there a Starkville Super Regional? And another win tonight probably seals that up. Something we haven't been saying that Robbie Falk mentioned to me yesterday, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us. I'm just kidding. He's not dead. Y'all calm down. State has 15 conference wins, right? They're 15-10. But you and I both know the committee counts the Governor's Cup as a conference win.
They certainly do.
And in reality, State already has 16 conference wins. So if they win tonight, whatever their final record is, add a conference win to it. It's going to be State's at 6 in the RPI. It's going to be real tough. If State handles their business, they're going to host a super regional. They're going to be on the right side of the bracket, which is the left side of the bracket.
601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. We'll keep talking about this game because there's a lot that comes out of that. As a pretty darn good breakdown, though, to start the show. But we'll keep talking about this game. We'll turn the page, look at the slate tonight, what's coming up in Oxford around the SEC. Southern Miss. James Madison, not a good baseball team. Just get wins. Doesn't matter if they're all 1-0 or 100-99. Just go get 3 wins this weekend and keep yourself on the right side of the hosting bubble. Sports Talk Mississippi from the Pearl River Resort Studio. We'll be back in just a bit.
In the Venable Glass.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Boom! Are you ready for some football?
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. We got this on the text line. I would hate to try to figure out how to format a 100-99 baseball box score. Imagine the old school folks that like to keep a scorebook, what that would look like.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
At that point, you just take your pencil or your pen and you just color in the whole page. You just color it in. This game was blue tonight. That's what it was. But last night, you mentioned the offense, especially after the midweek. Maybe it was good just for them to see the ball go through the hoop.
Right. We talked about that, yeah.
And they turn around and have a night like they had last night. Jumped all over Auburn. But what I like about it is it was steady. It wasn't an 8-run first and then 8 innings of nothing. They did jump on them early, but 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. They just kept pouring it on Auburn all night last night.
And one thing that I've noticed when State was swept by Georgia and by Tennessee is when State would score a run and try to make something of it, Georgia and Tennessee would immediately come back in the next inning and get a run. State did that last night. When Auburn scored, State got a run. Auburn hit that 2-run home run. State gets 2 more runs back in the bottom of the inning. They answered every time. You can make a really, really strong case, and we asked O'Connor about this in postgame, but this was probably State's most complete win of the year in terms of they just did everything right. Defensively, they were really solid. Offensively, 16 hits. Very aggressive at the plate in this game because 16 hits, but 10 strikeouts, only 2 walks. And I think that was the game plan. They were, as we kind of talked about yesterday, this was not a swing and miss in terms of velocity pitcher in Marciano that Auburn was throwing out there. He's a location guy. He's low 90s, high 80s, nibbles around the plate. State just decided to come after him and put the ball into play. Even in the second inning, they got a couple of guys on. Third inning, got a couple of guys on and stranded them. And then the fourth, they finally broke through with another run. But they were very aggressive at the plate. And then Valinkas was maybe one of his best starts of the season. Gives up the 2-run home run there on the final batter. But 13 strikeouts to no walks. You'll take that all day long. Really challenged the Auburn hitters. Was very aggressive. With especially when he had he had 2 strikes on a batter, just was really, really good. I mean, it was perfect for 4 innings and then gave up a single. Just as good as he can get. State needed, because we don't truly know about Ben Davis yet. We'll find out, I guess, if he plays this weekend. Maddox Webb, I know O'Connor said he was fine, but to only throw 2 pitchers last night, and for one of those pitchers to give you 2 1/3 innings and only throw 17 pitches, that's just something that State could not have planned for, but they've got to be super happy about coming into Game 2, which is, by the way, 7:30 first pitch here in Starkville. You think that crowd might be a little jacked up?
And a late night for you.
I bet I'll be home before I was home last night because I had to do a podcast last night. I don't have to do one tonight.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. But yeah, pretty crowd that's ready to have fun.
Yeah, I would think so.
Put it that way.
I would think so.
Oh, man. Anything else from last night? Valinkis was good. And, I mean, when McPherson comes back, that's still your Game 1 starter, right?
I think so. I don't see
He's kind of earned that.
I don't see a reason to move him. You know, I love the idea of Duke Stone on Sundays. He's going to be better than almost anybody's Sunday starter. Our Game 3 starter, I guess you should say, as we get closer to postseason playing, and those days can change up. McPherson probably ends up in the rotation on Saturdays if it goes that way. But we shall see. So that'll be interesting. Next, I wonder if they go one more weekend where they don't move him though. You look ahead to next weekend. Do you just stay where you are? Valinkis, Stone, McPherson, and
probably.
Then when you get to postseason play, and it is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that first regional, you probably can move him up if you need to, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Somebody asked this question. Did you see the clip of Tomas in the dugout saying how the blank did he hit that after the home run? Go back and watch that, Borky.
Ball's in the dirt.
That ball's in the dirt.
Yeah.
He's trying to throw a ball. He's just trying to throw a waste pitch there to set him up for something. And full credit to Bub Terrell from Auburn. Went down and absolutely clobbered that pitch out of the ballpark. Valinkis was dumbfounded. By the way, I don't know if you saw the ESPN. They did a little clip with Tomas and Vitas. I think we're being had, Borky.
They're trolling.
They're trolling us.
They're trolling.
It's a bit. I'm convinced now. Because Tomas was like, well, with Vitas, it just sounds better. Vitas Valencius. I think with Tomas.
And they're right about that, by the way.
They're right. Tomas Valinkis sounds better than Vitas Valencius. We're being trolled. We're just going to have to live with it. So whatever it is, it is.
Yeah, that was a really
It's funny, though.
It's funny. I like it.
So,
but yeah, so good win last night and
really
big opportunity. That's what the next 2 games are for Mississippi State. It's just a massive opportunity to solidify a national seed is what you can do with these next 2 games. And
you're 6th in the RPI, which makes me think that if you beat Auburn tonight, you're probably swapping with them, right? You're probably going to jump up to like 4th. Depends on what happens with Alabama, obviously. They're at 5th. You just have to think that, though, that if State can get 2 out of 3, they'll finish the weekend 4th or 5th. And then you go to Texas A&M, and if you just get 1, you're probably going to be good enough to stay top 8. Again, we have to remember, in this top 8, it's very possible that 2 of the current top 8 won't be top 8 seeds in Alabama. That said, Alabama could very well finish, on a hot streak. Let's say they sweep South Carolina this weekend, and then they take 2 out of 3 from Ole Miss, and they finish 5-1. They could do enough to push themselves into the top part of the bracket. Florida State, I don't know, but State just needs to handle its business, win this game tonight, or win this series this weekend. Go to A&M, get a game there. I think you'll feel pretty good about where the chips fall.
Yeah. To Oxford tonight. A must-win series, relatively speaking. It's hard to do the must-win thing when if they lose this series, they're still going to the postseason.
Right.
So it's
must-win if you want to host.
If you want to host, you have got to get to this weekend, and it has to start tonight. We don't need to relitigate what we did yesterday necessarily.
Right.
But Hunter Elliott has got to be sharp tonight. He has got to be his best self, and if he's not, you have 2 concerns. The first one is I don't know if you're winning the series if you don't win tonight in general, but also, okay, now you've got a Game 1 starter problem if you have 3 bad outings in a row from Hunter Elliott. So it's big for both of those reasons tonight. On the flip side, though, Ethan Darden, the lefty, getting a start for Texas A&M. Hey, Dad, he's 4-0 on the season. He's got a 2.8 ERA, but he's not a starter. This will be his first start of the season. He's a bullpen guy, his longest outing of the season. He's done it twice. He's done it 3 times. He's gone 2 complete 3 times. Does have a 2 1/3 mixed in there as well. But that's what he is. He's a relief pitcher. And A&M is going TBA on Sunday. Tomorrow, a more traditional starter, Aiden Sims. He's 8-1 on the season, quality pitcher. But that's a shakeup for Texas A&M in the rotation this weekend, going reliever tonight, and then the righty, who's really good, but Ole Miss better against righties, coming up tomorrow. Fascinating decision from the Aggies. That they have struggled on the mound really all season, so I get why a shakeup's coming. But you want to talk about opportunity. Here's one for you right here. You got to win.
Got to win. Just got to. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Southern Miss. We've gotten to the last 2 weekends of the season. They all have the same objective. It's just win your series. State has a little more leeway, I feel, because of the quality of the teams they're playing and where they are. Ole Miss is playing quality teams, but they're a little further behind State. Southern Miss is where they want to be in terms of the conference, but they're playing poor teams, so they can't afford slip-ups. So it's a little different circumstances. But if we come back on Monday, and everybody, I think State is fine at 2-1. I think Ole Miss is okay at 2-1. Southern Miss would have a little bit of an issue at 2-1.
They would have a hosting issue at 2-1.
At that point, they absolutely are in must-sweep mode the next weekend. But 2-1, they're still okay. They're still okay. They're high enough. I think Southern Miss is the Hattiesburg Regional is really close to being locked in. It's not all the way there yet. I think State is at like 98% just to have a regional. Never mind super regional. Southern Miss is probably in the 90s, and then you have Ole Miss that's probably closer to 50-50 right this second, but that could change pretty quickly with a couple of wins this weekend.
Ole Miss has a lineup out. We will get to that when we come back. And some of your messages as well on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. That's the C Spire text line. We would love for you to be a part of the show. That is how you do it. To start the 4 o'clock hour, we'll talk to Brendan Marcello. We'll also talk to Jay Powell at 4:37. I've already got my first question for Brendan Marcello, and I'm going to preface it with, I know this is a dumb question because I already know the answer, but do the people in charge of college football actually consider what the fans want at all? And I know what the answer is going to be, but I feel like we need to start asking that question. We'll be back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the Seabrook.com.
Sports Talk Mississippi, your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State.
Let me put it to you this way.
Right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Genteel Apparel is the official apparel provider of us here on Sports Talk Mississippi. You can wear Genteel whenever. Yesterday, we were out of doors. Did that stop Michael Borky from wearing his Genteel hoodie? No.
Nope.
Because it's cool, looks good, keeps you warm when it's cold, but cools you off when you're hot. It's all those things above. Of course, if I'm wearing these shirts, that means the big guy sizes are available. Check it all out at genteelapparel.com, especially their collegiate collection. Mother's Day is this weekend, which means we are on the countdown to the greatest holiday of all, Father's Day. Get Dad a Genteel polo from the collegiate collection this Father's Day, genteelapparel.com.
4th of July is my favorite non-religious based holiday.
Right. So Father's Day is a religious based holiday.
No.
Because
I like 4th of July better than Father's Day.
No, I just said Father's Day is religious based, so it doesn't count for you.
Okay. All right, but it's not. But
what do you mean it's not? I mean,
unless
how do you rule your house?
Unless you're talking about God the Father, Father's Day is not a religious holiday.
I guess. All right.
But Christmas is 4th of July. I have more fun on 4th of July than Thanksgiving.
It's just not correct, but okay.
I mean, it is correct.
There's no football.
No, but there's boats and a lake. And
I don't have those things on 4th of July.
Pretending to like Toby Keith's music for a day.
Oh.
And
getting himself in trouble saying stuff like that.
Drinking light beer and eating hot dogs and celebrating the greatest country in the world, especially on year 250. It doesn't get better than that.
I'm just saying, man.
You're wrong. I'm just saying you're wrong.
I disagree.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay.
Ole Miss's lineup is out. No surprises, really. Decker, Utermark, Furness, Becerra, Federico. Reuter's going to DH tonight for Ole Miss. Foley, Payno's going to get the start at short. I'm still... that's a good thing. Like, he's earned that for sure. I need to ask Mike Bianco on Monday about Braden Randall, because I know he got banged up, but, did Payno just take his job? And I don't know how you ask that question, because it's kind of, a coach can kind of take that insultingly.
You just ask about the shortstop position and what's going on there.
Has Owen Payno solidified his spot?
Payno has gotten some time there. Randall's got. Do you want to just keep platooning that, or how do you feel about it?
And then Jones going to get the start in left tonight. So again, not really particularly surprising. Fully healthy again is that lineup, but they've got to be more consistent. Of course, it's something we've talked about all season. They had a couple week stretch there where they were really doing a lot of things, and then this past weekend in Fayetteville, not so much. Not a particularly daunting pitching staff this weekend. Opportunity for a get right for the Ole Miss Bats. We'll see if they can pull that off. So that's how they're going to line up tonight in Oxford, in a must-win series if they're going to host.
Yeah, they just don't have any choice at this point. There is no. I guess it's kind of the same thing we were talking about yesterday, where I told you that Warren Nolan had predicted State to lose this series to Auburn, but sweep Texas A&M, and we were like, that seems weird. I guess the same thing could be true. Ole Miss could lose this series to Texas A&M, but if they go sweep Alabama, it won't make any difference. They'll be just fine. 4-2 is probably good enough. It's probably good enough, but 5-1, you'd feel like that's a lock for the Oxford region.
Gosh, 5-1, you might even be talking about.
You might be on the right side of
slipping into national seed.
The right side, which is the left side.
Left side, strong side.
Strong side, yes.
Great movie. Great movie. Took a lot of liberties with the truth, but that is a great movie. The movie is great. The story is not as great as the movie.
I just can't get over the idea that on the final play of the game, you ran a reverse for 70 yards for a touchdown.
It is high school football, though.
It is.
Blown assignments all over the field.
They would have had to. But this team was well coached. The other team was well coached. They're just no.
Clearly not. If they got on a reverse.
That's what I'm saying. So that's my point. They dominate the whole game, and on the last play,
that one detail ruins the whole movie for you. We're talking about Remember the Titans here.
It's just also knowing that I know what I know, that like that whole team hated that coach. They hated him. Like I just.
Well, yeah, because he demanded excellence.
No, that's not why. That's not it. That's not
it at all. In the movie,
he
did.
Well, I'm just saying. So it's just it's okay. It's a good football movie, but it's not my favorite.
What's your favorite football? Your favorite football movie?
My favorite football movie. Like my favorite sports movies are basketball and baseball movies.
Yeah,
football movies. I love Any Given Sunday. Very unrealistic, but it's just a fun watch. That
to me is The Replacements. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it might be. It's just a fun
watch. The Program is probably the correct answer for me. I love The Program. Came out when I was actually still playing football, so a lot of it spoke to me. Yeah, that's probably the correct answer. The Program.
Gosh, is The Replacements my favorite football? I think that answer is yes.
You are wiry.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of liberties taken in that one, too, with reality, but who cares?
Well, yeah.
I mean, the football scenes are good. Like they're well acted, right? They clearly got guys that are athletic to do the football scenes. Keanu Reeves is a very believable quarterback. The female lead is really good. Even though, was she in anything ever again after that movie?
Great question.
She was great in that movie.
No.
And just disappeared as an actress.
You can't find her anywhere else.
I think that might be my favorite football. That's crazy, I know, but I think that might be my favorite football movie.
That's fine.
I do have a soft spot.
We'll also throw the original Longest Yard in the discussion as well. I want the Burt Reynolds version.
Yeah, the Sandler one's okay.
It's just okay.
It's okay. I have a soft spot in my heart for Radio because that is a very, very true story. And I got to play against, before he passed, I got to play against T.L. Hanna High School when he was there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've got a little, because that, and apparently that is a very true story. They didn't take many liberties. Like, they kind of just told the story of that movie. Mm-hmm. It's not anybody's all-time favorite, but, soft spot in my heart for T.L. Hanna High School. We whooped them that night, too. They had Martavius Bryant, hey, Dad.
And y'all won?
Oh, my gosh. He was so, you could see it on film. If the ball was not going to him, he didn't even try.
Wow.
I mean, you could just tell. If the play call is not specifically throw it to him, he wouldn't even run off the line. So it was obvious. The rest of his team wasn't particularly good. Obviously, he was awesome. But you could see it on film. He had a very lazy high school film. And, we beat the brakes off of them that night.
Yeah. Marty from Portland throwing out everybody's All-American. I wonder why. Wonder why he threw that particular movie out. I know why. Marty, was that film when you were in school? That's the question I want to know.
Hey, Dad, your Friday Night Lights take is so bad, according to one listener, that they're going to have to reconsider liking you altogether.
Friday Night Lights?
I'm not Friday Night Lights. You're Remember the Titans.
Oh. Yeah, well, that guy's an Ole Miss fan, so I can live without him. It's all right.
Yeah, but he liked you.
Well, I mean, he'll come back around. I'll say something that makes him happy down the road. This is just, one thing. Friday Night Lights is a movie that I like it, but the book is so much better. And, it's another one of those things when you've read the book and you know what really happened, it bothers you some of the stuff they change. Like, in real life, Brian Chavez was a tight end, not a safety. In real life, they didn't lose in the state championship game. They lost in the state semifinals. They lost, and that game was not played at the Astrodome. It was played at Texas at whatever's Darrell Kelly Royal Stadium now. Just one of those things that bothers me. Like, they also left out one of the big characters of the book, one of the offensive linemen who was a integral part of the team. They just left him out of the movie entirely. And so So
you get you're the devil that's into the details.
Well, I read the book. I'm like, why can we not just follow the book? The book story is great. Just follow the story. You didn't have to Hollywood it up and put him in the state championship game. They didn't go to the state championship game.
Yeah, Major League, they didn't go to the World Series.
That's a fictional story.
I know, but the point is, you can even Hollywood up a movie and still not send them to the championship game.
They didn't even get out of they didn't go to the World Series. Never mind win it. They didn't even go to it in that. Yeah.
And the replacements, it was just make the playoffs.
I have plot holes for Major League, which is one of my favorite movies. But first off, I never understood why the game was played in Cleveland. The Yankees dominated the series. Yeah. Why was that game not in New York? Secondly, that game is being played. Yeah, it kills me. That game's being played in Cleveland in mid-October, and everybody's out there in T-shirts and shorts. Nobody's wearing any Indians gear. What is this? This is one of those things. I have flaws.
A lot of texts about Rudy. That's propaganda, is what Rudy is.
Yes.
If Rudy was about Texas,
the movie is good. The
movie's well done, but I despise Notre Dame, and in part because I grew up in an era where Notre Dame was not good. And they got the benefit of the doubt. Every year they were always ranked. They always got ranked ahead of teams that they weren't as good as. I mean, they even got all the way to the national championship that they didn't belong in because they were just Notre Dame. And for people my age, we never got to see the Notre Dame that you guys got to see.
Right, that plays a role in it. Yeah.
Sports Talk, Mississippi. We'll read some more of your texts. Have some fun with this when we come back.
In the Venable Glass.
This is a place for crazy people.
If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night.
A couple people bringing up We Are Marshall as their favorite football-specific movie.
That's tough to be your favorite, though. It's such a downer.
I've seen it once, and I will not see it again.
Yeah.
I am man enough to admit I cried in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Tears came out of my eyes.
It's fine to tear up in that one, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a downer.
Because you know it's real.
It is. That's my point. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. That one, and then this is not sports related. I think I've told this story before, though, but my childhood, when I was 16, my childhood dog, he was a 14-year-old dog, died. I mean, he was my dog, you know?
Right.
He died because he was 14. And my mother, without knowing, says, we should go see Marley and Me.
Oh, no. No. I want to go back in time. It's like the scene from Interstellar. I'm like, no.
The last few minutes of that movie, I wanted to run up to the movie screen and set it on fire.
Your poor mother who didn't know.
She had no
thought she
idea.
was doing something nice for you, like take your mind off it to see a fun family movie about a dog. Oops. That's a tough one.
Gosh.
That's
Yeah,
a tough one.
Somebody says Varsity Blues. I'm still sticking. Nobody's given me a replacement for the replacements yet.
It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. That movie is the football is a big part of that movie, but like it's the other stuff. It's Ollie Larder. Let's just be honest with what it is. Why we all like that movie.
So he says Air Bud Golden Receiver.
One of the best, no doubt.
But here's the thing.
Every play in that movie is illegal.
All of them.
It should have been a penalty.
But also,
can't play a dog.
You can't ask. Of course they won a championship. You're really going to ask a bunch of young boys to go tackle a golden retriever. Hey, little boy who probably loves dogs and thinks that dogs are the greatest thing on earth, go tackle that one to the ground as hard as you can. No, it was a cheat code. Not because the dog was good at football or basketball. Didn't he play baseball too?
Hey, there's an Air Bud I think there's also an Air Bud for hockey too.
But
could be wrong.
No 14-year-old boy is going to try to beat the dog. It's not about the dog being good. It's about letting the dog win.
Air
it's
Bud
not fair.
For basketball. Air Bud Golden Receiver. Air Bud World Pup for soccer. Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch for baseball. Last one. Air Bud Spikes Back. He played beach volleyball. Should there be a 30 for 30? Is Air Bud the greatest athlete of our time? Should they redo the 100 greatest athletes where they I think they had Jordan as number one. Jordan only played 2 sports. Air Bud's got 5.
Get him on a golf course. What are we doing here? What would the Air Bud golf movie?
Oh, God, you got me make me think. So, wedge, iron, pitch, fetching wedge?
Air Bud fetching
wedge?
Birdie retriever?
Birdie dog. There we go.
Let's make it.
Yeah.
Netflix would buy that right away. Have you seen the crap that they're putting out there? They'll buy anything.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yes.
Oh, man. For the love of the... Oh, that's a baseball movie. For the love of the game. That actually is an underrated baseball movie, but I always forget right. Vince Vaughn is in Rudy. Yeah, he's the jerk.
He's terrible in that movie, by the way. He's so bad. Also in that movie, I'm pretty sure he's Vincent Vaughn.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he hadn't gone to Vince yet. Like, the play where Rudy tackles him, it's like, what are you doing? Like, he takes the pitch, and he just sort of stands up in the backfield. Like, I would have benched him, too. Kid's terrible.
Somebody says, makes you a man. Go tackle that dog.
I want Air Bud, but I want that guy who does the 8 and under baseball coach. I want him to be the opposing team's coach. You don't tackle that dog, you're going to be playing silver, magenta next week. I want that guy out there.
A vote for the Little Giants. Couple votes for Little Giants.
Is a good movie. Yeah.
That's a good football
Annexation
movie.
of Puerto Rico.
A few votes for Draft Day.
Oh, come on. That's a terrible movie.
If you're not like super into the draft,
yeah,
I'm sure Draft Day plays really well.
Yeah, but like the idea that a guy could trade 3 years worth of first round picks and then get them back, and 3 years worth of second round picks and get them all back. No chance. No way.
Why didn't anybody go to his birthday party?
Yeah, come on.
Well, I mean, honestly though, they do check in on stuff like that.
I'm sure they do.
I think I've told this story before.
But no GM is trading 3 years of first round picks.
No. If I have this story correctly, I could be wrong on some details. Forgive me if I am. I think it was Mike Tomlin. That during Matt Corral's pro day, walked around the square, went into some bars, and asked about players. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, bartender, have you ever encountered this player, and what was that interaction like? Yeah. Was he nice? Was he nice to you? Was he mean to you? Was he entitled? What was he like? I think it was Tomlin that did that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I know I'm right about Brandon Marcello joining us after the news. We'll talk some college football with him, so stick with us. Oh, that was fun. Text line blew up. We'll buckle down on some football when we come back.
Your home Sports Talk, Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. Sports Talk, Mississippi on SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Let's jump right into the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Brandon Marcello joins us right now. He's a national college football writer for CBS Sports and joins us on a semi-regular basis, and we always appreciate his time. Before we get into college football, though, Brandon, I want to loop you into something that organically popped up in the first hour for us. Your favorite football-only movie. What is your favorite football-only movie? And then secondary question, what is the most underrated one?
Oh man, it's a great question. I love the program. Absolutely love it. So quotable. And I still think that Any Given Sunday is still incredibly underrated. Those would be my two picks. But oh gosh, my favorite actually is North Dallas 40. North Dallas 40 is number one, and then I would say Any Given Sunday still underrated.
You won't be surprised, Brandon, that the program and Any Given Sunday were two of my favorites as well. So
yeah. I mean, hey, listen, I remember Mississippi State, coached by Dan Mullen. I think it was 2011. Mm-hmm. They went to Auburn. They lost. It was a close game. Chris Rolfe got stopped at the goal line, or maybe it was Vic Ballard. And I remember Dan Mullen started quoting Any Given Sunday in the press conference, but was acting like it was normal. And I couldn't stop laughing. And I remember going up to him afterward going, "Are you quoting Any Given Sunday?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, of course, duh."
You gotta be careful what parts of that movie you quote.
No kidding.
Well, the inches are all around us.
They are. They 100% are. No question about that.
We've been talking a lot, as have everybody in this business, Brandon, about college football playoff expansion going from 12 to 24. And I mean, I've never seen anything in sports as consensus disliked as the concept of doubling the number of teams in the playoff in college football. I know this is a dumb question because I know what the answer is, but do the people in charge at all ever consider what the fans of the sport actually want out of the sport?
Sometimes, but not all the time, and not most of the time. I mean, mostly they listen to their constituents, who are the athletic directors and the coaches, and, to a certain extent, probably their media partners as well, especially the conferences that have, a mainline media partner that owns everything of theirs. Because, of course, they're going to be interested in what they want as a media partner. And so that convolutes things more so than it did even 15, 20 years ago. And most conferences have that main media partner that either owns everything or the majority of it. And so in a lot of ways, these media partners have a stake in those conferences as well. Listen, we're marching toward an expanded playoff one way or another. And today, more so than it was, I would say 9-10 months ago, it's probably going to be 24 teams. And that's just kind of how it's going to be. College athletics, as we know, is in a crisis right now and will continue to be as they try to save their sports that are being subsidized by the revenue of football and some programs, men's basketball. And to do that, you need more money. And one of the ways to get more money, potentially, is to theoretically expand the college football playoff and get more money from your media partner, ESPN, and or send it out and shop it around to multiple media partners to where the college football playoffs on multiple networks and not just wholly owned by ESPN. And that's one way to do it. It's a big reason why the NCAA tournament's kind of expanding right now. I'm going to say it's the biggest reason, but it's one of the reasons. And there's momentum for it. And it's going to be fascinating, guys, this month, in fact, when we go around to all the conference spring meetings. ACC's next week. I'm going there. Big Ten's the week after. I'm going there. And then SEC down in Destin, and I'll be there for that too. What the drumbeat is within those coaches' rooms, the athletic director rooms, and whether they differ between the two of them, and whether they actually differ with their commissioner and what they see and believe. Because especially in the SEC, for the longest time, it's been, we're interested in 12 or we're interested in 16 if we are going to expand, nothing more. But even last year, I could tell you several ADs within the SEC were telling me on background they wanted to hear more about the 2014 playoff, and they believe it could work. And if that was what the case was, back in the fall, I can guarantee you there's going to be more interest in that from some ADs when we go down to Destin later this month. And it'd be interesting to hear whether the tenor among the commissioners has changed, especially in the SEC. But the Big 12 and the ACC have been open to this 2014 playoff idea for months now. Now it's just a matter of obviously getting the SEC on board, which, as we know, with the agreement with the CFP, is controlled by the Big 10 and the SEC. And if they don't agree on something, then the playoff stays at 12 teams. So can they convince the SEC to move on this? Well, that's what makes the SEC meetings this spring so interesting, because if the AD starts saying it publicly, that they want to hear more or that they favor it, in fact, then, of course, you're going to start hearing Greg Sankey have to change his tune as well. So this is a very important month in my eyes.
As a member of the media, obviously, you cover all of these events, and it's part of your job. As a fan of college football, do you feel kind of like I do, where I know this is bad for the sport, but at the same time, I'll watch as much of that playoff as you give me, and more college football games that have real national championship implications. I don't mind it as much. I feel kind of dirty, Brandon.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It seems it's more appetizing to the casual viewer, because if you brand something and say this is the playoff tournament and you have more games and you spread it out across more weeks and more days, the general public is going to watch it more, which means more dollars and more eyes on the sport, which is good for the sport overall. It's good for folks like us as fans and even members of the media. But when you're a hardcore fan or a journalist, and I've loved college football for years and years and years, it does dilute things. You go, man, which blowout am I going to watch today? Or, what's going to happen here? The optimist inside me, Brian, says if we do expand the college football playoff to 24 teams, then maybe this introduces some more competitive leveling of the field. And hear me out, and I talk long, so here we go. If you look back at the last 5 to 6 years of college football, NIL, revenue sharing, transfer portal, we all believed, right, that would make talent get spread out more than ever and it'd be a more competitive product. That hasn't necessarily happened. What's happened is that the top dogs that have that money, they get more of a concentration of that power. Now, the power is spread out more among teams, but they're spread out among the top teams in those leagues. So, for example, look at the Big Ten. They had not won a national championship in years. Now they've won 3 straight by 3 different programs. And yes, I'll hear your argument about Indiana and everything, but they've got money. Here's the thing. The Big Ten is top heavy, always has been, but it's a concentrated power of wealth there, and they're able to draw that type of player there to be competitive. Meanwhile, in the SEC, that talent has spread out across, I want to say all 16 teams, but I'd say the top 12 teams. It's a little bit more of an even playing field because of the regionality of the sport that still exists there, especially in recruiting and in the transfer portal. So you look at the NFL draft the last few years, the amount of picks in the first 3 or 4 rounds that have come from college football are more and more concentrated to those top 3 or 4 teams in those leagues than ever before over the last 3 to 4 years. And that is because of the portal and also because of the NIL situation. And I think revenue sharing is only going to amplify that. So if that continues, you're going to see more blowouts in the first round of the playoff. You're going to see the teams in the bottom half of these leagues fall further and further behind in that talent gap. And that's going to hurt college football in my eyes. Now, if we expand the field to 24 teams, that introduces a new ingredient to this equation, to this stew. And that could be, hear me out, let's say a player wants to go, say, to Arkansas, my alma mater, because he knows he's going to start there and play. But Alabama's offering him just a little bit more to go there and be a backup and maybe a rotational piece. And he goes, you know what? 1, I'm going to take that money, but 2, I'm probably going to win a championship there. But if he really likes Arkansas for whatever reason, he connects with the staff, and this still happens, but they go elsewhere because of I'm going to win a championship there, or it's a little bit more money. But if they really like Arkansas and the money's just kind of a smaller thing, but now you know with an expanded college football playoff field that, hey, we could still probably sneak in there, and I could say I went to the playoff and I could compete for a championship, maybe that somehow, some way, introducing that to this ecosystem actually does spread the talent out more. Because if you keep the postseason tournament small or smaller or about where it's always been here the last few years in this new ecosystem with NIL and revenue sharing, the programs that have been dominating things and running it are going to continue to do that. But if you make it bigger, those programs, you introduce all these different parts of the equation, these programs have more opportunities to lose. And the talent, I think, naturally, and it won't happen next year or 2 years or even maybe even 3 years down the line, but within 5 years, the talent will be more spread out across college football. That's my thought, and that's my optimism.
I don't know if we've ever had a 2-question interview before, but that was great, Brandon. Thanks so much.
All right, Brian. See you, man.
In the Venable Glass.
Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports. On your radio and in the game. Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Friday afternoon. Guys, if you are looking to upgrade your tractor game, or if you just need to buy a new tractor or just a new mower or whatever it is, if it's going to be John Deere Green, the place to get it is Ag Up. Right now, great deals going on at the Drive Green sales event. Starts on Tuesday, May 12th, which coincidentally is the same day Borky and I will be at Ag Up in Hattiesburg. So you can come by and see their incredible deals there. And if you just come by and get a qualified quote on a new John Deere 1 through 5 series tractor, you're going to be entered to win a John Deere generator and pressure washer package worth over $1,500. Plus, you can take advantage right now. 0% financing for 84 months. 84 months is 7 years, guys. Let me clear that one up for you. Or an additional $500 off select models. $500 is like
$500.
50,000 dimes, you know? There's all sorts of great stuff happening here. Great equipment, great financing, a chance to win big. Visit agup.com or your local Ag Up equipment location for details. There's 15 of them across the state. Ag Up Equipment, your down-home John Deere dealer. And, of course, Michael Borky and I will be in Hattiesburg.
Can't wait.
This Tuesday at Ag Up, 7000 Highway 49. Please come by and say hello.
Can't wait. A lot of what Brandon said makes sense. It was really smart. I would prefer them need it first before deciding that doubling the playoff teams would create something that doesn't presently exist, if that makes sense. If the day comes where we need 24, I'm willing to hear that. Right now, we don't. When you've got, in a 14 playoff, a undefeated power conference champion getting left out of the playoff, it needs to expand. That 11-1 Baylor team that got left out of the playoff, that TCU team that got left out of the playoff, they were too good to not be afforded the opportunity to compete for a championship. They were too good. Expanding to 12 made sense. We needed that because clearly, as evidenced by the last 2 years, there are more than 4 teams that are equipped to conceivably win a championship. We don't have that yet for the 25th, 26th, and 27th teams that are left out. You can kind of make that argument for 16. I think Notre Dame could have conceivably competed for and won a championship last season. Sure. Vanderbilt maybe less so. Texas could have, but Vanderbilt with the right draw could have made a run.
Oh, Pavia could have kept them in a game or two, yeah.
Not 8-4 Iowa. And I say that knowing that Iowa took Indiana down to the wire last season. But 4-loss teams, no thank you. 5-loss teams, no thank you. They have not proven to me yet that they can conceivably compete for a championship, the 25th, 26th, 27th best team in college football.
And look, what you're saying is completely fair, right? Because you're right. Like 13 through 16, you've got teams in there that could make a run, right? And that's not. I don't think that's the question. It is legitimately the 23rd, 24th, and I'm telling you this right now. I'm trying to think of a Mississippi State in 2022 finished 19th, I think. They were 22nd going into the bowl game after they beat Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. That team could not have competed for a national title. They just couldn't. They had their moments, but I mean that's a team that lost by 3 touchdowns at Kentucky that year. Like you can't convince me they were going to. So they're 22nd. Who was 4th that year? I don't know. Georgia, Florida State, somebody like that. Like they were not going to go beat those teams. So I can't get behind it.
And ultimately, the regular season still needs to matter. That's another thing that you've got to weigh here. It's not just what the playoff creates. Also, it's what it takes away.
Yeah.
And see, Josh Pate said something today. And again, I like Josh Pate. I do. And I'm excited to visit with him at Media Days if he's there because he'll give us a great segment.
Yeah.
But he said on his show that playoff expansion creates more meaningful games is the biggest lie in sports. And he dated that back to 4 versus 12. We have not ruined the regular season yet. That hasn't happened. That has not happened. The regular season still has meaningful games every single weekend. And yes, even if Ohio State, Michigan in the right year is less impactful, you still have, again, teams that can conceivably compete for a championship playing more meaningful games. We have not ruined the regular season yet. We will. We will. And one thing college football has on the NFL, but every NFL weekend there's playoff implications on every game. Because it's very clear cut. You win your division, you make the playoff. Boom, done. Wild card, very clear cut. What's your record? Boom, done. It's very easy to digest, but the NFL regular season matters less than the college regular season. It does. There's 17 games. College basketball's regular season is just done. It doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
I mean, we'll talk about basketball and we'll talk about the games here in the state, but if you want us to watch national college basketball, not happen. I don't care.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened yet in college football, and I'm afraid that will.
So somebody makes the comment, there's no way mathematically that 24 will ever play one unless there's win a first-round game and one gets a bye. You got to stop thinking in terms of who's 1 through 8. Think those years, I think, who was 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So you're saying 25 would have played 9. North Texas would have played Alabama. How would that game have gone?
The same.
It would have been 45-10, something like that.
Yep.
So number 22 was James Madison.
obviously we saw how that works.
We saw how that one went. Now, I'll tell you this.
Who would they have played?
They would have played 9. Or they would have played, 25 would have played 8, so they would have played Oklahoma. James Madison would have played Alabama. The next one, Miami and Iowa. Iowa can dirty up the game. They have enough players. They know how to win. They play in the Big Ten. Maybe it could have been convincing. I don't think Iowa would have been able to hold off that pass rush for 4 quarters, but maybe they could have made it interesting, right? Then you start getting into real games, like Georgia Tech, Notre Dame is a real game, right?
It is.
As you move up the step. But then you run into BYU, you end up with BYU Houston. That's a conference game. That would be a real game, right? That's fine. Tulane would have played Texas.
It would have been the same.
Probably a 30-plus point blowout.
Yes, especially with the way Texas was playing at the end of the year.
You see what we're getting at. Like, you're going to get some – and then, look, that's not to say that with the 12-team playoff we haven't had some stinkers. Obviously, when the group of 5 team has been involved, they haven't been great. But Alabama got manhandled.
We had stinkers in the 4.
Yeah. I mean, Oregon got manhandled by Indiana. Yeah. Going all the way back, yeah. There have been. We had the national championship game 4 years ago was 65-7.
Yeah.
Sometimes these things just happen. I understand that. It's just about how many of them are you going to have.
Last time I said something like this, the Southern Miss burner-verse got really mad at me, but you know that this is true. When Alabama gets blown out by Indiana, it's more interesting than when Tulane gets blown out by Ole Miss. And that's not an Alabama-Ole Miss thing. I'm not doing that. I mean, the fact that Alabama gets blown out is super compelling because they should not get blown out. You're Alabama. You look at all the players you've got. You send a bunch to the NFL every year, blah, blah, blah. When Tulane gets blown out or when James Madison gets blown out, it's just kind of sad. It's like, those guys, they were just overmatched and they should have been. If Alabama gets beat down like that, it's super interesting because how on earth does Alabama get beat like that? When Florida whooped up on Ohio State, that's more compelling than if it was Ohio. Because how on earth does Ohio State line up and get whooped like that? It's crazy. When Tennessee went up to Columbus and Ohio State beat the hell out of Tennessee, that was more entertaining than Ole Miss Tulane. I cackled watching that game, honestly. I thought it was hilarious watching Tennessee get beat like that.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, because
every touchdown I'm like
because we spend a week talking about how Tulane really doesn't have a chance in this game, and then when it happens you're like, okay. But we spent a whole week, I remember that week of Ohio State Tennessee, and we were like, Ohio State had just lost to Michigan, we're like, they're a little rattled, and is Ryan Day in trouble? And Tennessee's going to go up there and bring 30,000 fans.
And they did.
And then when it happens, you're like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Tennessee got handled like that? It is. It just is.
A whole lot of orange in that stadium that day. That
people traveled and sat in the cold to watch their team get their you-know-what kicked in. So, yeah.
From the second that ball was snapped, man. Yeah. That was wild. There's a Feinbaum take going around about Josh Heupel, and people are mad. He's right. Are you positive that Tennessee's going into a direction that is going to allow them to compete for a national championship? I'm not. They've been okay. But is he elevating Tennessee football at all right now? I don't think so.
Yeah.
We will go back to baseball, and then we'll go back to football. So we're going to snap you here a little bit. Jay Powell going to join us next, and then we will go back to football for the rest of the show, possibly for the rest of the show. We got more football stuff to talk about. Shout out Bud Elliott, because these graphics that he put out are really interesting. So we'll get to those after we go back to the Farm Bureau guest line and Jay Powell.
From theSeabrook.com.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You know I love sports.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Friday afternoon. Normally when we would talk to Jay Powell at 4:37, we'd be, an hour and 20 away from from first pitch. We got a long wait in front of us tonight, Jay. We're old men. Can we handle a 7:30 first pitch?
I don't know. It's going to be a late night for sure. Yeah, I'm not used to a college game starting at 7:30, but yeah, that's what we got tonight.
Should be we'll say an enhanced crowd. We'll say it like that for a 7:30 first pitch. Let's talk about last night's game, and I don't know if we're going to look back on when we talk to O'Connor on Monday, or if we talk to him some point later in the week, are we going to look back and say that Blake Beavis beating out that ground ball to short might have been the biggest play of the weekend?
Yeah, it could be. We talked about that in postgame last night, and I made a comment to him. I said, it just seems like when this team doesn't strike out and can limit strikeouts, they really are a really good offensive team. And, and I pointed that out. I said, we would strikeout, and then Blake Beavis just with 2 strikes just puts the ball in play and hits a little infield single, and that turns into a grand slam. And it just shows you that especially in amateur baseball, and I've kind of beat that drum all year with this group. If they just don't strike out, if you just limit the strikeouts and you force the other team to make plays, this group, for whatever reason, is a different team. And I think we saw that last night.
Another thing we saw last night was a really good pitching performance from Tomas Valinkis. I am in agreement with him, as I have no idea how that guy hit the home run on a ball that was almost in the dirt when it got to the plate. But he was really good last night. I thought he pitched angry, but in the best possible way. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Tomas is a high-energy type of guy, and, he kind of feeds off his energy that honestly he creates, I think, a lot of times himself, which is great. I said on the broadcast, I thought last night that he had something to prove, and not to any of the fans or anybody, but I think to himself. I think the last couple outings he was not pleased with the way he pitched. And you just watched him last night. He was a determined young man, and the stuff was incredible. The slider to last night was a lot better. It really was. It's always good, but last night I felt like he had better command of it, and he was able to control it better, throw it where he wanted it, and it had a lot sharper break. And I think that all kind of ended up with giving into what the outing turned into.
And then, it's closed out by Bauer, who is just so efficient. I think I have the numbers right. He got 7 outs on 17 pitches.
Right.
That's a pretty incredible number. Are we going to? Do you think he's gotten to the point now where you could say that's your closer?
I think he's one of them. I think one of the things they really like about Jack too is his ability to go multiple innings. Obviously, not only just coming in for 6 outs or 5 outs, but he has the potential to give you that 2 to 4 inning type finish the game outing with in what he's done. So. It was in one of those situations last night where I guess the quote wasn't a safe situation, but It's such an important game because you got to lead. You're in the 7th inning. It's the first game of a series, so it's almost. It's a very important game, obviously. So you have to bring in somebody you feel a lot of confidence in, and he's been great, really. Since the 1st of March or end of March when he kind of came back in the fold, he's been incredible.
So there's a lot of smoke right now. We saw the injury report. No Ryan McPherson on it. There's a little bit of talk that he might be TBD. He might be the guy starting the game for Mississippi State on Saturday. If that is the case, how do you think Mississippi State has to handle him there?
I could see that happening. I really could. And just because, obviously, whenever he goes out there that first outing, they want to be able to control it in the sense that, okay, we're going to give him plenty of time, make sure he gets loose, make sure he's ready, and then say if we're going to limit him to 25 to 30 pitches or whatever his pitch count is, we need to have somebody behind him. We need to have somebody ready, somebody behind him. And to me, that's almost a little bit easier to control than necessarily bringing him in a relief outing unless, you say, hey, you're going to throw the 7th, and he knows that in the 5th inning or so. So I feel like if it was going to be a relief out, and it's just me looking at it from the 10,000-foot view, so to speak. If it was going to be a relief outing it would be a whole lot easier to kind of control that in a midweek game. I think the start, if he's ready to go, makes maybe a little bit more sense, and that they can kind of control his pitch count, make sure he gets plenty of time to get loose, and can kind of go from there.
How would you handle the rotation if he's coming back into it? Do you leave Tomas on Fridays? Do you want to go McPherson back to Fridays? What would you do?
Right now, I leave it just like it is. I'd leave Tomas on Friday, and I would treat Ryan over the next two. Let's just say he pitches Sunday. Let's just say he starts. Say he goes an inning and 2/3, throws 30 pitches. I would treat these next 2 weeks as meaning the Texas A&M series and the SEC tournament as I don't want to use the word rehab outings like you do in Major League Baseball, but we're working toward getting him back to where he was before he got hurt, meaning stuff-wise, he feels good, he's healthy, and his pitch count's gotten built up. Because you've locked in a regional, you know that. One more win, you're probably locked in a host, at least the first round of regional. So that would be my whole goal with him is let's get him back. So when we do hit those regionals, and let's reevaluate it then. And if he's back to Ryan McPherson before the injury, we may tinker with the rotation a little bit. If he's 80% of that, which is really good, obviously still, we may leave him at 3 or 2, whatever. But I think you just treat it almost like I said, like a rehab situation. These next the next 2 or 3 outings for him.
Would you say last night's game was the most complete win Mississippi State's had this season in conference play?
Maybe so. They everybody says, well, we either sweep or get swept, and they've had some really good weekends where we've put together some solid games, but I don't think we've had one against a team probably as good as Auburn, and Auburn's got a really good team. I feel like that Texas and Georgia, or probably they're to me the best 2 conference teams I've seen. I think they've honestly kind of separated themselves, but Auburn is really good. They really are. And they pitch it really well. And last night, for us to be able to knock that guy out, and then that was important, obviously. But to me, the more important thing is we're able to add on and not just sit there and you look up in the 6th inning, it's 4-2, and we haven't scored in 5 innings. So I mean, that was to me important too, was the ability to add on and extend that lead. That made it a whole lot easier on this pitching staff.
Bryce Chance. I mean, just what a weird outlier that doesn't have a home run all season, and now he's got 2 in 2 SEC games, and they're both grand slams. And State with 3 grand slams in its last 3 games, that's got to be a school record. When you think about Bryce Chance, you think about he feels like an old school baseball player playing in 2026. But he has just been so key for Mississippi State this year, and it seems like here at the end of the season, he's ramping back up again.
Yep, he got a little bit of a funk. And I thought he was getting underneath the ball too much. You saw too many balls in the air. And he is an old school baseball player. He's a kid who dreamed of playing at Mississippi State. He wanted to come here all his life. He came here. He had every reason in the world to leave, he with the portal and everything else. And then he goes into his senior year, last year of his college career, gets a new coach, gets a ton of kids in the portal, and from paper it looked like he was going to be the odd man out. And the 99% of the people and kids in his shoes would say, all right, I'm going to transfer and just make sure I have a good senior year. He didn't. He stayed right here, and he said, that's fine. You can bring whoever you want in. I'm going to outwork them. I'm going to prove to you why I deserve to be in that lineup. And I mean, he's kind of the kid don't say a word. He's a real quiet kid, and he's just put his nose down. He's outworked everybody. I think the fall really, I think his teammates the new guys that came in, he earned a lot of respect, and they looked up and said, okay, this dude is a dude. This is the way we work. This is the way we prepare ourselves. And it's so great to see things working out for kids like that.
Jay, if you want somebody to bring you a Red Bull, just holler at me tonight. We need something to keep us awake. We'll try to get through this. 7:30 first pitch at Dudy Noble for Mississippi State Auburn. Key game 2 of this series. Jay Powell, thanks so much, man. Appreciate your time.
Oh, anytime. Thank you, guys.
Jay joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line, as did Brandon Marcello. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Big game for Mississippi State. They can take this series, and they can. I feel very confident in saying they put themselves in the driver's seat to host a super regional with a win tonight over the Auburn Tigers. But going to be a tough one. Duke Stone on the mound. 7:30 first pitch. Should be an outstanding crowd. Big crowd last night for a Thursday 7 o'clock first pitch. Big crowd for that. And I will say this: if State could somehow win this game tonight, you're setting your State's already had, I think, 2 crowds over 15,000 this year. You're setting yourself up for another one if you got a chance to get the sweep on Saturday. So when we come back, as Borky said, we'll get back and do a little college football. We'll do that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi with you here on a Friday.
From the Venable Glass Traffic Center, I'm Kyle Curley in Brandon. Still seeing congestion at Government Street at College. Also look for delays Highway 18 at 468. Otherwise, no other problems so far. Please buckle up and drive safe.
This update brought to you by River Trust Federal Credit Union. With early direct deposit from River Trust FCU, your paycheck can arrive up to 2 days early. Whether it's paying bills or treating yourself, early direct deposit ensures your money's ready when you are. Visit our website or give us a call to get started. Federally insured by NCUA.
In life and in business, one thing is certain: change. That's why Pilium Corporation is ready to keep you ahead of the curve on ever-evolving technology, critical for your company's security and growth. To that end, the Pilium team offers IT support and security and forensics, plus cloud services and networking, mobile communications, body cams, in-car video systems, and real-time crime center technology. Pileum.com. Smart people, smart business, smart solutions.
My doctor's office is awesome. It's where we go when I have a fever or get hurt. Mom says it's so close.
Trust Care Kids is every kid's favorite pediatric clinic. Our caring staff is here for everything from colds and ear infections to routine checkups. Plus, our clinics are kid approved, packed with interactive games your kids will love. Open late and weekends too.
There's a new kid on the block.
Trust Care Kids. Get care faster. We're not kidding.
Garden Mama here for Lakeland Yard and Garden, asking you, why do we garden anyway? Are you looking for a beautiful retreat where you can get away from it all? Lakeland Yard and Garden is ready to help you with your garden paradise. In addition to being a complete nursery, greenhouse, and garden shop, Lakeland offers patio furnishings including comfortable couches, chairs, tables, and much more. Let the professionals at Mississippi's largest garden center help create a paradise for you to get away from it all. So why do we garden? Because we love it and love the outdoors, and we do love getting away from it all right there in the backyard. Celebrating growing your way and serving all your garden needs since 1980. Listen to your mama now and call 601-939-7304. Visit online at lakelandyardandgarden.com and stop by Lakeland Drive at Airport Road.
Russell Williamson here, CEO and owner of Rope Solutions, rapidly optimizing performance and efficiency. Comprised of special operations veterans, we utilize the same tactics and techniques used to build the world's most elite teams. And now we bring that to your organization to improve safety and increase performance. And we encourage you to tune in to Forging Alliances on SuperTalk 103.3 FM every Monday at 1 p.m. to hear our story and those of other great veterans local to this community. You can also live stream or listen to the podcast series on supertalk.fm/Meridian.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
The Fiesta is on, and the winnings are hot. Get ready for the Fiesta of Cash at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino. Fridays and Saturdays in May, 7 to 11 p.m. You could score up to $2,500 in cash. Big prizes, fast action, non-stop excitement. It's the $65,000 Fiesta of Cash at Pearl River Resort. Must be 21 or older to play.
Pour yourself a cup of coffee and get the Magnolia State's most important news of the day. Mornings with Richard Cross on Super Talk, Mississippi.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State. Sports Talk, Mississippi on Super Talk, Mississippi.
Friday nights should be reserved for high school football. Were you signaling to yourself? By the way, I couldn't tell.
No, I was just drumming along.
Oh, okay.
Me and Taylor Hawkins were just going there.
But the Big Ten has decided that Friday nights are going to be their night this season. Well, I say the Big Ten. Fox really has decided that Friday nights are going to be their night. Why? Well, because Friday nights are outrating Saturday afternoons on Fox. Coincidentally, that's when Fox goes up against the SEC. The SEC doesn't play on Friday nights. 1 + 1 = 2. Here's their Friday night schedule on Fox this year. September 4th, Fresno State at USC. That's week 1.
Huge.
September 11th, that is a Friday, Missouri at Kansas.
That's actually a fun game. I'll watch that.
That's a fun game.
My daughter's not on the dance team anymore, so my Friday nights are open again. I can watch some college football.
There's a particular team that's going to be in Starkville at the end of the season. Maybe you can hop on the call.
Oh, are they playing Starkville Academy?
They are.
Oh, I'll come to that. Yeah, I'll show you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
September 18th, Houston at Texas Tech. Week later, Northwestern at Indiana. Week later, Penn State at Northwestern. So Northwestern getting back-to-back Friday night games.
You can tell who that conference values.
Oh, no kidding. Iowa at Washington on October 9th. Washington at Purdue on October 16th.
Oh, my God, that's a conference game. Washington at Purdue.
On a Friday night.
Disgusting football. This is so gross. I'll watch, though.
Probably. No, November 6th, Nebraska at Illinois. November 13th.
That's a real game. That's a good game.
November 13th, Illinois at UCLA. So Illinois also getting back-to-back Friday nights.
Yeah.
November 20th, Oregon at Michigan State. Oregon getting a road Friday night game across the country.
I guess maybe everybody's got to get one.
Well, there's a particular team that is not listed on here. Two particular teams that are not listed on here. November 27th, West Virginia at Utah. That is your Friday night on Fox. Okay. Yeah, that is a Big 12 game because they do Big 12 some. But, yeah, no Ohio State, no Michigan. I wonder why that is. I can't believe that. Just coincidence, I'm sure, that Illinois gets back-to-back, Northwestern gets back-to-back, but Ohio State not on there.
It really is something. And you can't sit there and say it's not about ratings, right? Because Ohio State on Friday night would get massive ratings.
It would.
Their fans would be like, heck yeah, I'm watching. They're the only game on town. Yeah, I don't have to worry about missing anything else. They would lock into that. But Ohio State, the team, is going to be like, no.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
No, we're not doing that.
Because
I'm surprised Oregon is, yeah.
Ohio State's one of the few programs that can actually tell the TV networks what to do.
Yeah, there's only a few,
There's
but they're
not
definitely
many.
one of them.
They are certainly one. I do think, I get it, ratings, whatever, got to make as much money as possible. There are things that we should protect in this country. National parks, we should protect them. If you've ever been to some of the good ones, they're worth protecting. Beautiful land. Our founders got that one right for sure. Mm-hmm. And I think we should protect Friday nights.
Yeah.
High school football is an institution. It is so valuable for so many reasons, right? Obviously for the kids that play, but the student sections and all the things that come with that. And you're asking a lot of people to decide.
Mm-hmm.
And that's unfortunate.
And you hurt, like, Nebraska, Illinois, right? Who's the home team?
It is, In Illinois.
Okay. So Illinois can't really host official visitors that weekend.
Nope.
Like, that would be a good weekend to host. Probably have a big crowd.
Yeah.
Good atmosphere, a chance to win. But you can't do it because why? All your recruits are playing.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it doesn't make any sense to have college football on Friday. But we live in the upside down when it comes to college right now, and it's everything that people want is what they don't get, and what they don't want is what they get.
Pretty much.
I fully expect a demigorgon to be running college football by the end of the decade. SEC Commissioner Vegna said today something like that.
Pretty much. I mean, we're protecting Army-Navy, and I support that completely. I think we should protect high school football too.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would have any problems with that. But it's just kind of where we are.
It is where we are. But
was there no Indiana on Friday?
No.
Yeah.
No, there. Oh, yes, there was. Northwestern at Indiana, September 25th.
Indiana. Okay, there you go. So then he's just going to raise an eyebrow there and be like, "What? Why are we on Friday? I could be recruiting tonight."
601-879-4395. Hour 2 already in the books. After the news, we will get to a college football fix, a lot of playoff discussion, but in a what has this era done for parity, and then what would the 2014 playoff have looked like, and does that change your mind at all? So we'll get to that a little bit when we come back after the news. Sports Talk Mississippi from the Pearl River Resort Studio. More football when we come back.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on SuperTalk.fm, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and always live on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station.
Welcome back in, hour number 3, Sports Talk Mississippi. You know what time it is.
It's time for lunch.
Oh, no, it's time for a corrupted file.
Ah!
That's what time it is.
We're trying to play 2 at once. Maybe that's the problem.
No, it should work.
Remember yesterday when he didn't have music? It's 2 days in a row. This is unacceptable. Huh?
There we go. That works.
Much better. It's time for the college football fix. The College Football Fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. That's where the home of the best-selling truck in America is. Did you know? Did you know that? I knew that, and I'm telling you now. So when you're looking for a new truck, you don't have to worry, you don't have to wonder, you don't have to guess. You just have to go to your Mississippi Ford dealers and test drive a new Ford F-150. That test drive is going to turn into a real drive. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
All right, Bud Elliott of CBS Sports, noted SEC hater Bud Elliott.
Big time. That's not hyperbole either. That is an accurate statement. He is not a fan of this conference.
He is a noted SEC hater. Did some research. Incredibly interesting observations here. So we'll start with draft production, because the best gauge of talent in a college football program is turning them into NFL players.
Yeah.
The NFL does not, despite some online burner account narratives, discriminate based on conference. They just go find the best players that they can find.
Right.
College football in 2014, the last year of the BCS, versus college football in the second year of the 12-team playoff.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about parity a lot.
Yeah.
There is more parity at the top of college football, in the upper half. Maybe not so much at the bottom. Here is the comparisons. So, number of college football programs in the last year of the BCS with at least one draft pick for the 2014 draft. So, the 2013 season, 2014 draft was 113. 113 different programs had a draft pick. This year, 74. 113 to 74. That is a decrease of 34.5%. Programs with at least 2 draft picks in 2013, or for the 2014 draft, it was 64. This year it was 48. That is a 25% decline. However, teams with at least 5 draft picks was 11 in the 2014 draft. This year, 21 teams had at least 5 draft picks. That is an increase of 91%. Teams with at least 7 draft picks in 2020 or 2014 was 4. This past year, 15. That is a change of 275%. So overall representation fell, but the number of teams that can build a roster that has championship caliber players on it has increased by 275%.
I tried to keep up with this from the links you put in the rundown, but they're all the same link. They all go to the playoff one, not the NFL.
Oh no,
yeah,
my bad.
I was like,
my bad. But still,
trying to keep up with all those numbers in my head. But the overarching point is very obvious. Yes, that we have. I mean, I didn't need that graph to tell me that. I can just look at the way Georgia and Alabama don't just destroy everybody they play anymore, and can tell you that.
But there's your proof.
Yeah.
And there's good and bad with that, right? The bad is the bottom. The NFL caliber players at the lesser programs or the FCS programs are transferring before they get drafted. They're moving up before they get drafted.
Yeah, they're
more often than not. But again, there's incredible value in having 15 programs with 7 or more draft picks. That's awesome for the competitive balance. And by the way, as we talk about all the time, those lesser programs were not competing for championships then or now or any time in between or before anyway. But this did increase the number of teams that can actually conceivably build a championship level roster. Now, people use that, like Marcelo did earlier with us, as justification for playoff expansion. Does that change your mind a little bit? When you got 15 teams with championship level talent, does that change your mind?
No. Not to get to 24.
Not to get to 24.
Yeah, I can be sold on 16. I can be sold on 16. It's because it's a more natural bracket, right? I can get one against 16. Nobody gets a bye. I can be sold on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
24 is where you're going to lose me. So.
And here's the next thing. So that's the first thing. Here's the next thing. If the college football playoff went from 4 to 24, so if the last 2 years have been a 24-team playoff, obviously there are 24 extra bids, so 24 more slots, to go.
12, yes, yeah. 2 years, 12 bids per year extra, 24. The math adds up.
Here's how that would have shaken out. 6 teams from the SEC would have gotten an extra bid. So none of what I'm about to say counts the teams that did make it. So when I say Ole Miss would have gotten a bid, that is not including the one that they actually did get a season ago.
They would have been in twice, in other words. Correct.
The SEC would have added 6 teams to the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Each of them just one. Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Missouri, Vanderbilt, and Texas.
So Alabama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina would have made it in 2024, and Missouri, Texas, Missouri would have also made it in 2024. Texas and Vanderbilt would have made it this year.
Yes. For the Big 12, they would have gotten 7 extra bids, more than the SEC. BYU would have gotten 2.
Yeah, they've been in both times.
Iowa State, Colorado would have made a 2014 playoff with Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Utah, Arizona, and Houston. Mm-hmm. BYU, the only team that would have gotten in twice.
What that says is that program has been pretty good.
But just not good enough.
Just on the precipice, yeah.
The ACC would have gotten 4 extra, Miami, Syracuse, Virginia, and Georgia Tech. The Big Ten would have only gotten 4 more. Only 4 more for the Big Ten. 6 for the SEC, 7 for the Big 12, only 4 for the surging Big Ten, Illinois, Southern Cal, Michigan, and Iowa.
Yep.
The American would have gotten 1 extra. Army would have made a 2014 playoff.
You've sold me. 24 is obviously the number. If Army could have gotten in, I would have been all for it. Can you imagine the poor team that would have had to play Army in the first round and get ready for the option?
Yeah, man.
That would have been a problem. It would have been a problem.
I would have enjoyed that game.
I would have enjoyed it.
Dan Mullins, UNLV would have gotten in.
That's right. I'd have been in the playoff.
Actually, I don't think it would have been Mullins. I think it would have been, what's his name?
Barry Odom.
I think it would have been him. I think.
Well, if I had been there, we still would have gone.
Notre Dame would have gotten in once.
Once more.
Yes,
they would have been in this past year.
They would have gotten
obviously they played for the national title 2 years ago.
This past year. Yeah. So, 23 unique teams added, which that's
goes
great.
Back to what Brandon Marcello was saying, right? Look, here's the truth about literally everything in this life, right? You can beat the statistics up to the point where they tell you what you want them to tell you, right? You can manipulate the numbers, you can do whatever you want, and eventually you get the narrative that you want, correct? At some point, common sense has to step in, and it's just, no, this isn't what we want.
It is certainly interesting, though, and unfortunately, Greg Sankey's going to see this. And the SEC getting more than the Big Ten can be his selling point.
Yeah, he's like, that's what we got to do, guys.
See, look, we got it benefits our league
that's true.
the most.
I think top to bottom, the SEC has more depth, but the problem is right now, the top, the Big Ten are better. And Indiana's a bit of an outlier, but Michigan and Ohio State were loaded with NFL players.
Yes.
Absolutely loaded. Indiana's got...
They had a good bit of them, too.
But they just... There's something going on with Signetti there that we don't understand, that we can't explain. So
that's the next cheating scandal, if you believe the Burnerverse.
Well, I don't. I tend to not believe the Burnerverse on just about everything.
Would it have made a difference? Yeah, the SEC would have benefited, but the next exercise will tell you why Haydad and I are so against it, to be honest with you.
We are against exercise.
What would the matchups have actually been? I'll tell you about that. That's your college football fix, driven by Ford and your local Mississippi Ford dealer. We'll be back.
You can be a part of Sports Talk Mississippi. 888-808-8637 on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Borky and Haydad with you. Somebody says, I really think Ole Miss will go 10-2 at the worst this year, and Trinidad wins the Heisman. Golding is legit. Now, when you have a quarterback like that, I mean, there's no doubt that their ceiling is that high.
I don't think those two statements mesh.
Yeah, 10-2. I don't think your quarterback's winning the Heisman at 10-2.
Right.
Because you're going to have Julian Sayin go 11-1, and he'll win the Heisman.
12-0, probably, something like that. So yeah.
But yeah, that when you have a quarterback like him, that is what your ceiling is.
So yeah, I'm telling you, Ole Miss fan, that if that's your statement, your expectations aren't high enough. They should be higher.
We've learned, especially now in the portal era, in particular, the value in veteran quarterback play.
Yeah.
And it's not even, look, he did stupid, and I mean complimentary, stupid things in the Sugar Bowl. His best strength, though, is he protects the football. He doesn't make mistakes. When you have a veteran guy like that does what he does, yeah, they can get there. But Back to what we were talking about, though. Andy Staples put this together. This is, frankly, this is why I'm against it. And I know I'm a hypocrite. I know I am. Because I will watch, I watch the Hawaii Bowl. I watch all the bowl games. I'm a football sicko. This bracket, these two brackets, we'll look at two of them. To me, devalue the regular season. This does not excite me enough to justify putting some of these teams in the playoff. Let's look back at 2024. So this, if the 2014 playoff that the coaches want, that the Big Ten wants, that everybody's warming up to, and we're going to get to, maybe not this year, but we're going to get to this. This is what the 2024 season would have been. Clemson and Iowa State, winner faces Oregon. Army and Indy.
Oh, 2024.
2024.
I thought it was like, what on earth, Clemson?
I got 25 here.
Okay.
Also, 17 seed Clemson, 16 seed Iowa State facing Oregon.
Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not good either.
I mean, Clemson versus who they play? Texas. It was fine.
Army and Indiana, winner faces SMU. Respect the troops, but
Signetti versus Army would have been fun, I think. Now, see, you're not selling me on this now. Now you're getting me excited.
No,
you've
get
messed
excited.
Up. You've messed up.
UNLV, Ole Miss, winner plays Notre Dame.
Look,
by the way, that Ole Miss team with that defense, is a great draw.
They would have beaten UNLV, and then Notre Dame, Ole Miss at South Bend. Come on, man, you're not doing your job here.
Hey, focus on the first round games. The second round games are a normal
than the
playoff.
Ole Miss first round game I got this year.
But it sucked.
Yeah,
it sucked.
Yeah,
these suck even more.
That one did. Army, Indiana would not have been that bad a game. Indiana 2 years ago was not that
They
great.
couldn't really score.
Yeah.
Illinois, Miami, winner faces Georgia. BYU, Arizona State, winner faces Texas.
Well, I mean, that would have been a rematch of the Big 12 championship game, wouldn't it?
Colorado, Boise State, winner faces Tennessee.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You got the Heisman Trophy winner and Ashton Genty going at it.
Colorado had no business.
They didn't, but that game would have been good. This is you failed. You failed.
I'm not
you may
failing.
be turning me.
You're failing. You're not sticking to your guns here.
If you will not be turned, he will be destroyed.
Missouri, South Carolina against Penn State.
Wait, Missouri, South Carolina. I've seen that game. I don't know how that game would have gone, but that Missouri team was good too. And South Carolina with Sellers going up to State College. I don't mind that. I don't mind it.
Syracuse, Alabama, winner faces Ohio State.
This is where this is where I fail, right? This is where the mind is strong, but the flesh is weak. Like, I can sit here and tell you, like, this is bad for the sport, blah, blah, blah. And then you list off those games, and I'm like, holy crap, I'd watch as much of that as you could put in front of me.
This year.
Give me this year.
24.
Give it to me.
Virginia, Southern Cal. That's gross to be a playoff game. That is disgusting.
Look, the 8 and 9 Carolina Panthers hosted a NFL playoff game. All right,
but the 8-9 Carolina Panthers have a roster that is as good as all of the rosters in the NFL.
Southern Cal's roster is not its issue.
Well, I could argue that it is, though. With
they have talented players. They just have other problems.
North Texas, Alabama, winner plays Oklahoma.
Okay, that one's gross.
Tulane, Texas, winner plays Texas Tech.
Gross.
Houston,
Texas Tech, though, is going to be awesome.
Houston, but you can do that without going to 24.
You can do it with 16, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree.
Houston, Miami, winner plays Oregon.
Oh. Miami, Oregon have been great, though.
Again,
yeah.
Arizona, Utah.
That's a conference game.
Winner plays Indiana.
I'll tell you this right now. If you're going to go to 24, you've got to put a thing in there where you can't have interconference matchups.
Well, guess what, buddy? The 12 team already has that.
What?
The 12 team already has that.
They have that?
Alabama and Oklahoma played a playoff game.
You can't have that in a 24. I got to have this.
But
I don't really like it in the way it is, but it's 12. But in 24, it's avoidable. It's just more avoidable. Just say, look, we got to swap something here.
Iowa State, Notre Dame against A&M.
Okay. You get A&M. You get A&M Notre Dame round 3.
Michigan, Vanderbilt, winner faces Georgia. And Georgia Tech, BYU, winner faces Ole Miss.
Ole Miss would have loved that.
Oh, yeah.
They would beat both those teams badly. Not that they didn't beat Tulane badly.
You don't need this first round to provide you
16.
compelling matchups.
You can absolutely do 16.
I cannot envision a world in which North Texas belonged in this thing along with Tulane. Along with Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the quality of...
Well, Virginia was going to make it if they had just won their game.
And conference championships will go away.
Yeah.
They will. Guaranteed. Sorry, guys. The second they expand the playoff, SEC championship gone over forever. There's a real chance that this is the last year of the SEC championship. In fact, I would bet on it right now. If you made me bet on, is this the last SEC championship played, the answer is yes.
I will laugh when I can make the joke. Who was the only original SEC West team to never make the SEC championship?
You can't make that joke until State makes a playoff appearance, though.
I can absolutely make that joke. No. You can make the joke about the playoff.
I mean, congratulations
on
a 5-loss season, but
hey,
can you sniff the playoff yet?
Our SEC West banner is legit.
Is that one still hanging in Hemingway?
I have no idea. I haven't been in like 18 months or whatever it is, 20 months. Last time I was there was November,
if it's still there, I don't think. I mean, I was there
anymore.
For the playoff game. I didn't look for it.
Didn't look. You're supposed to look.
It needs to not be there if it is there. What's the deal with home games in the playoff? We don't know yet. We don't know what they're going to do. We know they're going to cater to the suits probably. But we don't know that answer beyond that. They haven't fleshed.
Marty says you can't avoid conference matchups, otherwise you're just throwing away the rankings. Just be smart about the rankings. All right? So, hey, guys, if we rank Missouri 20th, they're going to play South Carolina. But if we rank them 21st, they're going to play Iowa. Okay, just rank them 21st then.
I mean, they already kind of just do it based on vibes to begin with.
It really is, yeah. And you know, whatever idiot they send out there to the TV shows, like Coach, Bob or Joe or whatever his name is, last week Missouri was 20th. They didn't play a game this week, nor did any of the other team in college football. Why did they drop a spot? Well, when we really dove into the analytics, it doesn't matter. It's like, whose line is it anyway? Points are all made up, and the rules don't matter. It doesn't matter. Is Missouri really going to be mad that instead of playing South Carolina, they're playing Iowa? No, they don't care. Let's go play the game. Rankings have to be based on objective criteria.
I mean, they should be.
You're letting your computer engineering background overwork you here,
he's
Marty.
Exactly right.
No, he's correct. No, he's correct. But have you not paid attention to
the vibes?
All
how they
of this,
select the teams?
The last
vibes?
4 or 5 years, they just pick them. They just pick these teams.
And when you ask them to explain it, they can't.
There's no rhyme or reason whatsoever to it. They just make decisions. You've seen The Dark Knight. They're like the Joker. I just do things. I'm like a dog chasing after a bus. I wouldn't know what to do with it if I caught it. That's what the College Football Playoff Committee is. They just do things. They just show up, pull names out of a hat, hope it for the best. There's no logic here.
No, there's
I agree with Haydad Borky is selling me on a 24-team playoff as well. The more he talks.
But that just makes the regular season games featuring those teams just utterly meaningless.
And Marty's like said,
that's what I'm
based
worried
on
about.
An algorithm. I mean, look, Marty, I don't disagree with you. You could take it out of the hands of everybody. The BCS system, I don't want to just have one game between two teams.
Yeah.
But if you want to let the BCS rankings handle it, sure. But that's not going to happen. Why? Because we needed to make trips to wherever.
We'll be right back.
From theSeabrook.com.
Sports Talk Mississippi. On Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. So there's been some kind of weather situation in Oxford. Hey, Dad, I've totally missed this. But you told me.
Yeah, they
just now.
tweeted this. It's not a weather situation today. They said there was lightning damage from the storms Wednesday, so they will affect the outfield audio and the light show this weekend. So staff continues to work to address the issues. Thank you for your patience, Rebel fans.
So the home run lights and stuff.
Right.
And maybe the speakers in the outfield.
Somebody just hold a microphone up to Richard Cross's face. See how it goes.
The students don't really need speakers anyway.
They're fine.
It is graduation weekend, though. That is
Is it graduation weekend in Ole Miss?
Yes, it is.
That's interesting. I never understand the academic calendars at the colleges here. State starts after Ole Miss, but graduation is after as well. How does that? Our state starts before Ole Miss, but graduation is after. Graduation here is next weekend, I believe. So how are they graduating? I guess they got good for Ole Miss. They got ahead of this Canvas hacking scandal.
Yeah, I've seen that on the old algorithms.
Yeah, states had to postpone finals.
All right,
because you can't get in there.
You can't get in. There's one going around of an email from a professor where he's like, if you can't access that, like, I'm not sorry. It's the day before your exam. And if you haven't downloaded the study guide by now, that's a you problem. And if you need it, ask my TA because I'm not sending it to you. I'm actually on Team Professor on that one.
Yeah.
If you haven't even downloaded
here's the problem.
study guide.
I don't know any of this stuff. Like when I was in college, they just handed it to you, right? They would print the paper off. They handed you the paper. The idea of downloading a study guide, I'm just a caveman. I'm frightened by your bright lights and loud noises. I don't know any of that stuff.
And all the people that had test banks. We didn't have test bank stuff in journalism school, buddy. Oh, if you needed an accounting test, though, the files were deep on those. But I guess the journalism school, we didn't have the connections like the accounting kids in the business school and the MBAs and all that stuff. They have test banks out the wazoo. We didn't have any of that. I had to actually earn my degree.
There you go.
Sort of. But yeah, I've seen that. That's crazy. So people can't even get into their tests, and they're delaying finals, and that stinks. Yeah. Imagine having to delay.
My question is this: let me ask you. Maybe you know the answer. What normally you hijack somebody's website, right? It's somebody who it's a situation where there's valuable information on there. What is the valuable information you get from? This is just kids' grades, right? I guess maybe that could be something valuable, but who really cares?
Yeah, and I have that same question all the time, about my when I go to pay my gas bill.
Yeah.
I have to go through all these verifications. It's who's trying to hack my gas bill? Look, please, hacker, don't pay my gas bill for me.
I once tweeted at Jersey Mike's because they did the CAPTCHA things were click on all the bicycles, and I went through 8 pictures, and finally I just tweeted. I was like, guys, I'm just trying to order a sandwich here. We really don't need this much security. I'll tell you what, if a robot shows up and says, yes, I ordered the Philly cheesesteak, then let him have it.
Give it to it.
Give it to him. He worked for it. What are we doing here? We're trying to prove you're human? What kind of non-human is trying to order a Big Kahuna chicken cheesesteak with no mushrooms, peppers, onions, or jalapenos? Who else is doing that? I want to meet the It goes back to was that in the report? Aliens were sighted at Jersey Mike's?
No, nothing about...
Oh, my gosh.
Nothing about Jersey Mike's.
Yeah. Prove that you're human, somebody developed a robot. I like the idea that there's a robot out there that is capable of, if the robot gets into this website, it will destroy our financial systems. How do we stop it? A picture of a stoplight.
Yeah.
It won't know what that is.
Somebody says, screw that. The deadline was set, so let me get my stuff. That's like not showing up for work at 8 for 10. Well, if I read it correctly, the professor's like, if you need your study guide, ask the TA, but I'm not giving it to you. I sympathize with him. If you haven't downloaded, if you're if you haven't downloaded it, you can go ask.
Some people work best under pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I did that.
I mean, I won't lie.
I did that.
I did it.
I don't think I ever studied ahead of time for any test.
I put together a term paper the night before, 10, 12 pages worth of writing, sources, and everything.
I mean, yeah,
my high school term paper, the statute of limitations was up.
Yeah,
I made up the sources.
Good. And the fact that you didn't get caught is...
I didn't get caught. I did it on the Irish Republican Army. Basically, I read Patriot games. That was my term paper.
Heck yeah.
I had all these sources.
Yeah, but
it's all crap.
If you don't have it yet, you should take the extra step to get it from the TA. The professor doesn't need to coddle you.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. No, if he would have straight up said you are not allowed to have it and there's no avenue to get it, different story.
Real quick.
Bother me about it, bother my TA, totally relatable. Totally fine.
I'm going to assume Mike in Oxford is right because he would know, but apparently Ole Miss has announced they will be doing a doubleheader tomorrow due to the Sunday weather. So doubleheader in Oxford tomorrow starting at 2. So game 2 and 3 tomorrow in Oxford from Ole Miss and Texas A&M.
Well, that's breaking news because they have not actually hit send on the release yet.
Well, I mean, my guess is they've announced. If anybody would know,
it's Mike.
It's Mike. Mike would never steer us wrong, I don't think. They have not tweeted it yet.
They haven't. I just looked at my email. They have not sent the release yet. But that further is exacerbates the right word. Hunter Elliott start tonight.
Exacerbates. A great word.
It does, though. I mean, he
right.
has got to extend tonight. Has to. Mm-hmm. Has to, because you're doing the...
You're going to have two guys. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yes.
It's going to be tough.
So he's got to give you...
You need him to give you the performance that State got from Volinkus last night. It doesn't necessarily have to be 13 strikeouts, but 6 2/3, keep the score down, leave with the lead. That's what you need. That's your ace. Go be the ace tonight, Hunter Elliott.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, this team's ceiling in the postseason is so low without him being him.
Hey, Dad needs a WWE contract. This rant on robots is better than anything I've heard in 10 years for wrestling. Sign me up, Tony, Triple H. I'm here.
I still can't believe you're not watching all these alien videos that the government released.
I mean, I haven't done it. This has been a busy day. I had a lot going on. I had to go to the store, get the Mother's Day stuff. Did I tell you about what my mom asked for my mom? My wife asked me to cook for Mother's Day.
No.
I think she's been body snatched. All right, she asked for breakfast, which is normal, right? So she wanted biscuits and gravy, bacon, eggs. I'm like, I can handle all that. I got a sweet dessert I did too. I'm gonna do too. That's another thing. But then for dinner, she didn't want to go out to dinner. She's like, I want you to cook. She's like, I just want wings and tater tots. And I was like, what?
Okay. That's awesome, though. Heck yeah.
What?
Heck yeah.
So I go to the store today, and I'm like, what kind of wings would you like? She's like, let's do some garlic parm, some lemon pepper, some buffalo. Like, what is happening?
Greatness is what's happening. Greatness.
Normally she'll ask for a steak or, something like that, or wings. It's like, sweetheart, Father's Day is not for another month. What are we doing here? Am I going to ask for a pedicure? What's going on in this country?
Maybe. I mean, hey, Dad.
Yeah.
We released the alien files, and maybe she has been taken over by one of these 3.5-foot tall aliens that the government told us about today.
She's only 5 foot.
So easy for the alien to control. Used to a body of that height. Since, again, as the government told us today, are the aliens that we've encountered.
I know how to find out if it's really her.
Are 3 to 4 feet tall.
I'll say something, and if she agrees with me, I know it's not her.
There you go. And then
I know that this is not her.
They tried to warn us.
Invasion of the body snatchers. I get it.
That's what they do.
So what I'm going to do for the little quick food Friday here.
Go for it.
I saw this online. I'm going to go get some donuts. Just plain glazed donuts, right? Put a little butter in a skillet and fry the donut in it so it builds up a little crust there with that sugar. Maybe a little caramel drizzle over the top. That's what we're going to go for. I gotta have some. I don't ever eat breakfast. If I'm going to eat breakfast, I got to have something sweet. It's just the way I am. So a little creme brulee almost donut.
Your head's in the right place.
It always is when it comes to breakfast. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, clearly.
So, didn't know what I was doing the other night when I took the bandage off today. So I don't know if you can you see it there? Can you see? You see that? That's not showing up.
Yeah, I'd see a little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's in there, yeah.
Did green stuff come out instead of regular blood? Have you been taken over? I'm going to be looking over my shoulder. I mean... See?
I'm sorry. What I meant to say was... Yeah. No, I'm not a Klingon.
There's something out there, according to our government today.
I hear you. Hey, Dad, have you ever had a pedicure before? Never would do that. I can't. That's a bridge too far for me. Nobody's touching my feet. Nobody wants to do that either, I promise.
Yeah, they get paid for it, though.
Yeah. Make sure there isn't anything on the back of her neck. I'll check that. I'm going to see her in about 10 minutes. I'll give that a look.
We'll wrap the week up with you next.
Take a little trip with me.
Back to Sports Talk Mississippi.
It doesn't get any better than this.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
So we're just moments away from first pitch in Oxford. We're a long, long way away from first pitch here in Starkville.
Not that late.
7:30. That's the late first pitch.
Wasn't there a 9 p.m. kickoff time in Oxford?
No, that was in Hattiesburg. Mississippi State, Southern Mississippi in 2015. It was, I believe, 9. It may have been 8, but I'm pretty sure it was 9. 9
That's
p.m.
reckless is what that is.
It was brutal.
And I'm glad they figured out the ratings of that. Like, people don't watch those late night games.
Yeah.
Sickos loved them, but...
At that point, you're just getting the people who were going to watch regardless. Like, the fans of that team. 9 o'clock on a Friday, nobody's in front of their TV like that. The casual fan isn't.
You are definitely correct.
And I'm definitely not a casual fan. Very formal.
Yeah, you wear your tux.
So, real quick, let's look around the SEC. Some games are underway. They're in the bottom of the 6th in Fayetteville, Arkansas, all over Oklahoma, 7-2.
Is there weather or something? Why are they in the bottom of the 6th in Fayetteville right now?
They started early. I don't know it must be some weather. In the top of the 6th in Columbia, it's 4-1 Alabama. Bottom of the 1st, they got the runs on the board at LSU and Georgia. In Athens, it's 2-2 going into the bottom of the 1st. And Tennessee, Texas are just now underway, but in the bottom of the 1st in Knoxville, the Volunteers lead the Longhorns 1-0.
Nice.
Rain delay in Florida for Florida, Kentucky, and then a 6 p.m. first pitch, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and in Columbia. 6:30, I saw it, so not moments away, my bad, for Texas A&M and Ole Miss, and, of course, Mississippi State. First pitch tonight, 7:30 between the Tigers and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, hey, Dad, get your facts straight.
That's my bad. That is my mistake.
I mean, I'm going to start turning to Hail State Diamond for all of my information if you keep this up, buddy. That's where all the...
I mean, I would if I were you.
That's where all the real news is.
Yeah, agreed.
Not the fake news like you.
Correct. What?
Have you been unironically called fake news before? I have.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sure. I've also been called the liberal media.
That has happened to me as well.
Yeah. Which is funny because I don't even comment on politics. But somehow I'm the liberal media. There's no live stats for this Georgia LSU game.
Brian Haylib.
5-2.
Brian Lib Haydad. No.
Huh? No.
Lion Haydad.
Lion Haydad would work, but at that time, then it sounds too much like I'm a lion.
No.
Yeah, I'm like a Lannister.
Oh, LSU though.
Yeah, 5-2.
Making a little run.
I like how Marty's trying to get on me here. Like, what was the score of every LSU game at Mississippi State? Did LSU lead in every game?
3-0, right?
Let's settle down. Come talk to me in the 9th.
Talk after the 3-game series.
Yeah.
What does one win get you?
Yeah, let's let LSU play a full game before we start. If games are over in the second inning, LSU would be number 1 team in the nation, probably.
Yeah, they would.
So let's just calm down. Calm down. Sorry.
Any parting shots?
What else do I have to give today? I feel like I've given a lot. I've broken out the Emperor and the Joker impressions today.
Pretty good.
Thank you. I ranted about robots. I've been convinced that my wife has been body snatched by aliens.
Especially after you read the alien files, you'll really be convinced.
I got to cook biscuits and gravy for the first time. That's going to be interesting.
You've never done that before?
Never made. First off, the biscuits, I'm not homemaking those. All right, those are just. I'm not going to do that. That's a bridge too far. But no, I've never made sausage gravy before. I've made brown gravy before, but never sausage gravy.
Homemade biscuits are exceptional. If you're going to completely cover them with gravy, you ruin what's exceptional about them, so you might as well buy them from the store anyway.
Yeah.
If it's just like a side on your dish, great. Homemade, better. If you're making like a biscuit sandwich, better. If you're slicing it in half and then dumping gravy all over it, there's no point of homemaking the biscuits at that point, other than you just enjoy the process.
Yeah. I love homemade biscuits, but no, that's too much work. I know me. That kitchen would be a wreck. There'd be flour in places that, like, how did it get there? So, no, we'll just break them out of the bag. It'll be all right.
Hogman says, Hogman can talk series with both of you chaps. Took to the woodshed. Yeah, hey, Hogman, need we remind you what happens on the football field, though, brother?
Brian, hey, they, them.
Yeah. Hey, and Hogman.
How dare I identify as a dad?
And at least Arkansas has the same number of national championships in baseball as Ole Miss and State, right? I don't remember how the game ended.
That wasn't nice. That's not.
I mean, it was the ninth inning, right? And foul ball, easy pop up, and then I turned the TV off when the ball was in the air. I was like, it's over. I turned it off. What happened after that? We love you, Hogman. Glad you're here, brother, and glad all of you are here. We really appreciate you guys, as always. We will be back on Monday at 3 o'clock. Be safe. Have fun this weekend. Enjoy your baseball. And we will talk to you then. Good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.